In this week's episode, we chatted about fitness hills and opinions that we'll die on or / die for, things that we used to believe that were true in the fitness space, and there's an announcement at the end. Welcome. We're going, Paul? We on? Yes. Welcome to episode 38 of the No Rep podcast. I'm with my man Jordan and my good guy Nathaniel. How are we, Troops? Good?
I'm fabulous.
Excellent.
Fabulous. I'm a lot better after recovering from the last podcast we did last week in the cyberspace world, where I was reduced to tears. If you've not watched that episode, go back and watch it. We all start crying. It's a real good time.
Do you know what I actually quite like? I was going to say I quite like it deep.
We know that.
But I like kind of you're broken.
I'm getting floppy here.
And the deep and floppy. I like see when we kind of dive deep into like our feelings and shit. I like that stuff. People like that stuff as well. We've had messages and that off of folk like, it's amazing you talk about that stuff. I don't think a lot of people do.
Well, it helps people if they feel alone a wee bit. And I feel it when your mental health maybe isn't the best, you do feel alone.
Yeah, I was before you ask us about the main question. Like I threw up a question box, right? I think I don't know if you did, but
I didn't.
I have one.
Dude, actually, I'm not seeing your guys' stories on the algorithm is not showing me your stuff like at all.
Come back to the algorithm in a second, but I got a couple, 2 of them. One of them saying no question, but it's just I'm glad that it's back. People listen to us.
We have fans.
So we have a moral obligation now to not miss an episode because we have missed episodes, and we have a moral duty and a moral obligation to make sure that doesn't happen again because people do actually listen to this shit. So let's fucking go.
Do you want to hear my question?
Yeah, what was your questions?
Who would win, a giraffe or a chimpanzee?
See, right, hold on. So see when I throw up a question box, and because I got a couple of questions like this, right? For anybody listening, if I throw up a question box and you're asking me, would you like fucking fingers for hands or hands for fingers or something shite like that, just keep it to yourself. Keep that question to yourself because I don't care.
But we will answer it.
I will answer them though. And win what? Win what? A fucking game of chess?
I take it's a fight. A chimpanzee, a giraffe.
Chimpanzee, obviously. Chimpanzee will rip your fucking face off.
I think a giraffe.
It'll climb the giraffe's neck and kick its cunt
and rip its face off.
But
no.
Do you know?
No.
You think about giraffes, right?
No.
You ever seen them swing their neck? It's like a golf club, right? That giraffe would get fucked like a fucking golf ball. And
the chimpanzee, you mean?
What did I say? Giraffe?
Yeah,
Aye, the opposite of that.
No.
I don't know. I think it's.
Who asked that
it's
question?
An even fight. My mate's Div.
Div, you're a fucking idiot. Right? Don't ask shit like that.
So who relied on here? You're saying chimpanzee?
Any good questions? Any questions?
One of them was, would you rather have sticky jam fingers or permanent wet socks for the rest of your life?
Oh, fucking hell. I would.
Shite question.
Wet socks. But anyway,
It has to be wet socks.
We're not here to talk about it. What we are going to talk about today is fitness hills that you will die on or opinions that you're very, very strong about. And you can kick us off.
I can kick us off.
You can kick us off because your opinions tend to be the strongest.
It's because I am the strongest. My fitness hill that I think I would die on is that regardless of whether your goals are performance-based or aesthetics-based, that a performance-based approach to your training is always going to be number one.
Unbox that.
I'll unbox that. So we talked about that. We spoke chocolate cream. We spoke about this 2 podcasts ago, where it was the whole aesthetics versus performance kind of debate. And I think that for me, whenever someone wants to train or attain a physique-based goal, it doesn't necessarily always mean that they need to take a kind of bodybuilding style approach to get there, or a bodybuilding diet style approach to get there. Because some of the guys that I train who are in the best shape that I've seen in a long time, and they're in that shape for the longest period of time, have more of a focus and effort put in towards like their performance, how much they're lifting, how far they're running, how fast they're doing things, how slow they're doing things. Taking that approach for me always lends to better, longer standing results than just let me 12 weeks, let me get in shape for my holiday, bang. Because the people that are doing 12 weeks, let me get in shape for my holiday, if they do that every single year, they tend to stay in the same shape year on year on year on year on year, rather than actually growing, developing, adding tissue, all the rest of it. That is the kind of fitness hill that I'll die on, is that I'm always going to be number one into performance.
Team performance rather than team aesthetics.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, man, look at any professional CrossFitter or
Rugby player.
Rugby player.
Rugby players these days, mate, the front row look like bodybuilders these days.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a front row guy now.
I'm now. Do you know? See, I think as you get older in rugby, if you're in the scrum, you progressively move towards it, towards the front row, and then I'm in the front row, and that's going to be me.
Yeah.
Like me and Amanda were actually like obviously kind of talking about age and rugby and stuff. Like she was kind of. We were having a conversation, and I was like, "Yeah, I've maybe got." So I'm turning 31 this weekend.
Wow.
I know.
Are you?
Is it this weekend?
This weekend.
Holy
Sunday.
shit! I remember when it was your 30th,
That didn't
and we
feel
were
that
in
long
this,
ago.
and it didn't feel that long ago when we were in this room.
I know, it's exactly a year ago. That's
31.
mad, isn't it? And
It's mad how that works.
I know. But like I was, so I'm turning 31, I'm moving into the front row. I've probably got like another like 9 years playing. And Amanda's face was like, 9 years.
How long do you think you have?
Realistically, my heart says I can play till I'm 40, right? My head says I can play till I'm 35.
35.
My body says I can play till I'm 32.
Body says you play 28. I was just about to say that.
You should have stopped years ago.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, to be quite honest, my knees and all the many injuries and stuff I've got are actually in a not terrible position. I've started working with the physio clinic to get my knee sorted, like for good, and we're quite positive about it. So I'm kind of happy. See if I could play till I'm 40, I'd be fucking buzzing.
You'll keep going.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know like Johnny Watson, East Kilbride?
Yeah.
He's 60 something,
Aye.
right? And he just rocks up on a Saturday, plays twos, fucks off.
He used to pull up in a Lambo. Do you know this?
He's minted.
He used to. I remember when I was like under 16s or something like that. He used to pull up in this mad like kind of old grey Lambo, and I was like, and he was like 50 years old, jumping in, playing rugby for the twos, and then leaving. I was just like, what the fuck is this guy? It's like a pure, I don't know.
Aye, he's mega.
Mystery man.
Aye, mystery man. That's definitely the way to put it.
Do you have any other fitness or even kind of businessy hills that you'll die on?
Nutrition's not hard.
Explain.
The people overcomplicate a very uncomplicated topic. And I think that the rise of guys like Stephen Bartlett getting on all these, every second podcast he's got somebody fucking talking about microbiomes and fucking calories don't exist and fucking all these weird and wacky fucking diet people on. Take a top off. Take a top off. No, that Conor McGregor thing. Take a top off. 5 minutes into
Jamaican Conor McGregor there.
Take a top off. Right? See the cunts that are fucking saying this? Take your clothes off, right? How do you look with fucking no clothes on? Guarantee I don't want to look like you, right? Now, that's not the measuring stick from who you should take advice off of, because
Absolutely. That's definitely not the measuring
there's
stick.
plenty of fucking donuts out there who are in phenomenal shape who you shouldn't fucking trust with a fucking secret, never mind a fucking diet protocol. But what I'm saying is, like, success leaves clues. You talk about this all the time, Evan, and it's like that more often than not, a lot of these people are just shilling either a book or a product or their own agenda. That's
Can I
tends.
jump in? On just because you're talking about it, what Jordan's saying, do you know the way to know if you should listen to the diet advice? Does it sound like it's a magic thing they're saying or selling? Don't fucking listen to it. That's it.
Exactly. Like I've ate
Here's
the
some
same
snake
way.
oil.
Yeah, I've ate, snake oil salesman shit. Like I've ate the same way for like 10 years.
Beef and rice.
Beefing right, and I look all right. I've never said no to a cookie. I say no to a beer most of the time, not all the time. I'm not like a mad bevy merchant. I've never said no to a cookie, never said no to a pizza. I just train really hard. I eat a lot of chicken and a lot of beef, and I'm in all right shape. It's not that complicated. Yes, genetics play a part in it. Yes, they do, and blah, de, blah, de, blah. But no one else plays a part in it. Your excuses. People's excuses play a part in the way that they look more than the genetics or diet do. Or not, it's more than their genetics do. So diet's not a complicated thing. You just make it complicated or think that it's complicated because you don't look the way that you want to look. It's not a hard thing.
I don't think it's terribly difficult. I think people just lack control.
People do lack control. Like everybody has a brain, right?
Yes.
Everybody has a brain. And your brain controls your hands.
Questionable.
Right? Your brain controls your hands, right? My brain's doing this. So just use your brain to control your fucking hands and stop eating fucking donuts.
Do you know, this is the thing is, I like...
People
use your brain!
I can't stop snacking. What, are you fucking 5?
Yeah, just use your
kindergarten.
Do you know, something that I get with, it's obviously down to kind of populations and stuff that we work with, is like, see the whole, but there's sweets in the staff room, like, argument, but there's somebody's bringing in cakes and stuff. See, this is just my opinion on it. See if your fitness goal, if working on yourself and all that, especially if you're in a program or whatever, see if that's important enough to you. I don't think it's that hard to say no, right? Or see if you're currently saying yes every single day, start saying no every second day, and then build it from there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
actually don't. I don't think that works a lot of the time with that type of person. It can work for people like us who are in the space, who are more aware of the decisions that they make. Whereas for someone like that, it has to be a case of like almost cold turkey. From my experience, from like coaching people like that, it's just like, just say no to all the fucking shit that you get in work. And then the others, like, do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Because that's the best approach to take.
Yep.
Like on paper. But for people like us, say if we wanted to sharpen up, it's like, well, I'll just say no every other day, and then I'll start to building it. But it depends on the level of like sharpness that someone has to that, or the level of like clarity that they can have, or that they've been through it before. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes a lot of people do need to go kind of cold turkey with a lot of these things, and I think that I almost get frustrated, and I think it's a bad thing, that it's a bad trait that I've got, because I get frustrated with the whole diet thing, because I think that actually learning to cook helps. And I'm not talking I'm not talking like you need to be fucking Gordon Ramsay here, right? I'm not pretending to be Jordan Ramsay or anything like that, right? But like you are quite a good cook. I can cook all right, and I think that when you learn the basics of actually like knowing how to cook something, and cook a chicken breast so it doesn't fucking taste like a flip flop, right? Cooking it so that it just gets to the right temperature till it's perfectly done, and then it's nice and juicy inside, and it's all nice, and you adjust your calories so you don't use fucking fry light to cook, and you're actually cooking your meat in a bit of olive oil, so it actually has a bit of taste and a bit of flavour to it. Like, I cook all my shit in oil. There's not fucking fry light. There's never been a bottle of fry light that's entered my flat. Never. Am I a fat fuck? No, it's not the olive oil in the Lurpak, you dick. Right? It's all the rest of this shit.
You're just coming for people with these episodes.
Mate, the question was, what's some fitness else you'll die on? You have to be passionate about this shit.
I'm behind you. I'm behind you, but
it's not the first time.
Wait.
Surely won't be the last.
See, I've not been back at rugby to stay then.
Here, there's still time for you guys to get in the Shield semi-final this weekend. But anyway, we're all going to chat about East Kilbride's Cup success. I agree with you. I think people, for a lot of people, especially people that I work with, are like still very much in like a hack and tips mindset. So see, with how they go about their cooking, it's like what's the best low calorie snack that I can get, or like what's like, do you know what I mean with that? And it's difficult to get them out of that kind of that headspace with, look, stop looking for fucking under 100 calorie snacks. Start thinking about how you can actually produce a solid meal that's going to keep you satiated, that's going to tick the boxes of that you need as an individual. And it's about, people need to have a willingness to learn that stuff. I think a lot of people just want to be told, oh, just tell me what to do. Why don't you try and learn about it, learn about the subject? See, if you become a student of anything, right, you'll get better at it, generally. Right? If you actually put in the work and have a will and want to master a subject or master a topic, everything gets easier. Everything gets better. Do you know what I mean?
I totally do get what you mean. And I think that when it comes to any sort of And that's not just a nutrition thing. Obviously, we're kind of talking about the nutrition side of thing, but it comes to anything, the whole training aspect, the whatever aspect, it's the attention and the detail and the sort of intensity that you're willing to give a subject is the result that you get at the back end of it. If you half-arse it, you'll get half-arse shit back. And it's like whatever you're willing to put into that topic, subject, part of your life, you'll get back in return. I think that the universe is generally a very giving place. Like it is, whatever you put out there, you do tend to receive back. You put shit out there, you're mean to people, you're a wanker, you're an arsehole to yourself in terms of your diet and your training.
You'll get that back.
You're getting that back.
That's where your attention goes, like your energy flows.
Exactly, 100%. Like
people say.
You need to, if you're putting good shit into your body, right? If you're training hard, you're going to get all the effects that comes with that, much like the complete opposite of it. So it's the whatever intensity that you give something in whatever field is the exact same intensity you're going to receive back.
You see two things with the diet side of things, I feel, and it's the person who does good and thinks, oh, I've done good, right? I'll unpack that in a second. Done good with my diet. Fuck it, it's Friday now. I've done good. What's one day? I just gone off it a day. Then it's 3 days, right? Because you've not built that discipline yet. When actually you're not looking at having good days and bad days, or you're not looking at being I was great. Jordan says it all the time. I was great Monday to Thursday. No, just be good Monday. Just be good. Don't be great. Just be consistently good, right? So still have the sweets in, still have the cookies, still have the bits in. Just make it as part of your day. You're not as obliged to go off the rails, as people say, because you've been fucking having the stuff you want anyway.
What even are the rails?
Right, they're different for everybody. Every single person.
Totally.
It's the fucking rails.
They're different
what rails?
for everybody.
Who's off what rail?
No,
people are.
I did. I know.
You get what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Like,
what's a rail? Why am I on it? Why am I off it?
Just same with the wagon.
Everybody's on a different.
Where did this wagon come from?
Well, it's just things are off the wagon, man. I'm like, what wagon? What are you talking about?
They're different wagons for everybody, aren't they? And I can't remember, I was making 2 points there and I kind of forget the fucking I started.
Do you know, see...
No, I know, but I was making that point. No, then I think I actually covered both points. There we go.
Cool.
Can't remember what the second point was.
I think, see, with the whole on wagon, off wagon scenario and stuff, I think a lot of the time it's because people's choices are reactive rather than proactive. Right? And I say this all the time, my guys. See, the thing is, like, if you... A dead simple way of looking at it is if you come in from work, you're stressed, whatever, you go to the cupboard because you're hungry, whatever, and then you guilt eat a bag of Quavers. That's a reactive choice. Whereas if you come home from work, you sit down and have it, like, sit in your hunger and go, do you know what, I'm going to have a bag of Quavers. I'm saying Quavers because I'm hungry. I'm going to account for it and I'm going to take the calories off elsewhere if you're dieting or whatever. That's a proactive choice. You've made it rather than the choice choosing you. You're choosing the choice. Do you know what I mean?
Choice choosing you.
And that totally, that flips the narrative.
Yeah.
I think people go off the rails, go off the wagon because they lose control. You need to keep yourself in control. You need to keep yourself in the driving seat. And then it totally changes it, because that one, even if it is a bag of Quavers or whatever that choice is for that person,
or Cheetos
for an American, that can then turn into 2 choices, 3 choices, 4 choices, 5 choices that are bad if you've obviously got that, like, associated feeling of guilt with it. Whereas if you're in the driving seat, generally you'll make that one choice and then just continue to do the things that you need to do.
I think people give energy to, like, what they've deemed as bad as well, far too much energy to that, and then before you know it, they're like, oh, I fucked it. It's a big deal. So they're making it a massive deal. They don't look at all the wins that they've had through the week. They just forget about that. So then they have that bad day, right? Let's say it's Saturday. Then they have the bad Sunday. Then it comes to Monday. People in the programme, how was your week? Shite. I fucked it at the fucking weekend. That was bad.
There's venom in what you're saying,
0.4 kilo. I'm like, but how was the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got a PB on my squat on Monday. I got a new PB in my 5K on Tuesday. Like, I actually was lower in weight on Thursday than I've ever been. Well, why are you forgetting about that? Yeah, so a lot of time, again, it goes where your attention goes, your energy flows. Totally. It's what you're looking at.
It's the nasty comment syndrome.
Yeah. Well, aye.
Like generally the things that I put in social media, I tend to get positive feedback from like people either like them or share them or comment on them. And then after one of the podcasts, that one time we were all in the car together and that fucking
Sven?
guy, no, it wasn't Sven, it was Vonkeldonk.
Vonkeldonk guy.
Vonkeldick. He
fuck you, Vonkeldonk.
yeah, he fucking commented on my hang and was generally rude. And then, but that, like, the whole post was like, people, oh, great tips, thanks. I'm looking at the thing, it's been shared hundreds of times. And then I get Vonkeldick commenting on it. I'm straight at my phone going, the fuck's this dauber saying? Bloody, but I'm fucking going off my nut because I've seen that one thing. Right, and it's like
But if I asked you 5 things you don't like about yourself, you could tell me them quicker than 5 things you like about yourself.
Yeah, this is true.
Totally.
You give
That's
more.
a very good. I like that.
Yeah, you give more energy to the things that either weigh you down or negative than the things that are positive and bring you up. And people always talk about downward spirals. So like you were talking about you make one choice turns into a second choice, turns into a second choice. But like you were saying, Evan, if you're in the driving seat, there's upward spirals too. Upward spirals exist. So like you get home from work, instead of sitting on the couch, you go straight to the gym. It's an upward spiral. Come back from the gym, you have the meal prep meal that you made, right? Again, another bit of an upward spiral. Instead of ordering in, you decide to go to your bed at 9 o'clock rather than staying up till 11, which allows you to wake up earlier so you can train again. And then you have this upward spirals exist, right? But it's harder to keep that upward spiral going because you've constantly got like basically gravity pulling you back down to the ground.
Gravity.
Right? you know what I mean? You basically got that you've got that weight that's constantly pulling you down. That's why it's always harder to attain an upward spiral than it is a downward one. Because there's something that's always just going to pull you straight back down to like, nope, this is where you are, this is where you are. So you need to constantly be fighting against that. And that's why momentum's huge. Because you think about a fucking fighter jet or a fucking rocket going to the moon. It doesn't slow down halfway up.
It accelerates.
It just fucking keeps going.
Foot in the gas.
That's why you need to also just have that fucking same energy or same mindset when it comes to the like attaining like an upward spiral. It's just like you just need to keep that momentum going and just keep it fucking hammering rather than being.
And how would people do that?
Make the right choice. Like I said at the start, you have a brain and you have hands.
Or
the brain controls your hands. Make the right choice.
Make the right choice the only choice. Do you know what I mean? So
how would someone do that?
So for a dead easy example, like even some fucking as simple as meal prep, like generally if you have the food cooked, right, if you come home from work and you're stressed, you're going to eat it. If it's not cooked, you then give yourself a choice, right? Am I going to cook the food that I should cook or am I going to order a takeaway, right? So you want to remove that decision fatigue because see, when you wake up every single day, you have a series of decisions you need to make throughout the day. As the day goes on, you get what's called decision fatigue, right? Because you're fatigued because you've been making all these decisions all day, right? So when you're in that kind of state, the chances are you could make the wrong choice.
Take the decision-making element out of it.
So if you remove the decision and only leave yourself with the good decision, then you're kind of buffering that.
Yeah.
So...
because I find that all the time where even sometimes like I'll have food prepped, ready to go, chicken breasts are sitting there ready, I've got air fried potatoes, they're all ready, everything's ready to go. I'm still like, I could just order something, man. Like,
but if it was cooked already?
No, it's not, it's cooked, it's in the fridge, it's ready to go, just needs warmed up. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could still do it. Like, and lots of people there, I could just still do it. So like for me, what I do is I'll warm it up anyway. Right, so then that's the decision I'll make is that I'll heat it up anyway. So then see if I still don't want it after I've warmed it up, fine. Then I'll like do whatever. It's the same with like I don't really struggle with going to the gym, but I had this exact same conversation with a client a wee while back, and I was like, just like get in your car. Like, see, now when you're sitting down, you can't be asked going to the gym. I was like, see, instead of sitting down on the couch, I was like, go sit in your car. Go sit in your car for like 10 minutes because you've done like the bit. You might as well just drive to the gym now. Yeah. So it's like if you make that wee small decision first, so not the going to the gym or eating the food, just to be like, let me heat the food up.
The thing that's going to get you there.
Gets you over the hill.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of...
Aye.
Another good way of that is give yourself a 10-minute buyout from the gym. So see if you really don't want to go to the gym, you cannot be arsed, you really don't want to be there. See if you can just get yourself there, go on the treadmill for 10 minutes. See if after 10 minutes, see if you want to go home.
Yeah, you want to go. I remember James Smith talking about something like that. It was like...
Go home, but the chances are, because you've already made that positive choice of being there, you're going to do a little bit.
He was like, go and do 4 sets or something. So go on, do your first exercise, do 4 sets. You have 4 sets, you want to go home, just go home.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's quite a cool thing. But I guess you'll probably have to deal with that a little bit more than me. I'm actually having to fucking pull people out of the gym, which is a bit of a weird
What a
thing.
great problem to have.
I know, but it's mad, and I think it's almost just as bad of a problem as not going sometimes in terms of people's like health results. At the end of the day, we're all results-driven programs. That's what we are. All of us, anybody that comes to the program, they get a result, and not going to the gym and going to the gym too much can often have the same impact of not attaining the result.
Defos. Overtraining's a massive thing.
Yeah.
Like defos.
I wouldn't even say it's like the overtraining thing, but it's more the under recovering. Because I think it takes a lot more to overtrain than it does to under recover.
Yeah, typically when you're overtraining, you're
No, but you know,
Under-recovering.
no, but it's harder to attain an overtrained state than it is to attain an under recovered state.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
There's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Do you have any strong fitness hills or
To go back to what you were saying, so everybody has an internal monologue, right? And this is what people need to remember. So like the people that are doing
I've got
this,
several.
the people that well, right, you go, right, you just get that checked out. People that are people might look at people and go, how the fuck are they doing it, right? How are we doing it as coaches? How we still have the same internal monologue, the conversation that goes on before we do something as you do. Do you know what I mean? Like that still happens. That you're saying about you're in your head, you're probably thinking, I could just fucking go to McDonald's, man. I could just do that. I could go to McDonald's, get that food in the fridge, but man, get a wee pizza in or something like that. So the internal monologue still happens, right? It's just what route do you want to go down in that internal monologue? But see, giving yourself a wee count as well. I regularly be like, I'll be sitting on the couch or something. Like, I know I need to get into the office and I know I need to do that. Oh, fucking hell, man. And then I'll just go right 3, 2, 1, and I got up.
Yep.
So just like wee
Kate told
simple,
me that once.
wee simple
Kate told me
things
that
like
once,
a
and it really
countdown,
helps.
man. A countdown can be great. I do it fucking all the time. See in the gym, everywhere, I regularly count down or break things down into like wee bits. But a countdown can be good. If you can't get yourself at the gym, just go right 10. I'll go 3,
So see,
2, 1, up.
So see with Evan asked a question.
I know I'm going to get back to it. I wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't. I just don't know. How's that'll die on?
Like,
Do you have any thoughts on
Like I'm very
what
much
about
like.
what about fad diets? Or
Oh,
what about
horseshit,
like
obviously, but
what about?
do you know what it is?
I'm trying to say
I
something that
don't
will spur your.
Do you know what it is? I really don't get wound up about things, right?
Mm.
So then I feel like when I'm asked the conversation, like, tell me something that pure boils your blood, I'm like, oh, fuck knows.
yeah, I'm
Aye,
so
aye,
man,
fair,
like,
fair,
do you know
fair.
we
I
are
just
the
struggle.
Switzerland podcast.
Aye.
Fair.
It's something that
But like, I'm sure if you say, I'd be like, tell me something, and I'll be like, aye, but I don't dwell on, I don't think about things a lot.
I don't think I'm very Switzerland.
No, you're quite polarizing, but that's a good thing for a podcast as
I
well.
think so.
Like I'm quite strong opinioned. I think like with various bits and bobs.
With some things.
With some things definitely.
Do you know what it is? I think for me, something I'm not interested in, and I don't give it a second of energy. I just
Aye.
navigate away
Yeah.
from it. So then I do struggle to think of things, man. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I think that a lot of people, and I don't know if this is a bit of an unpopular opinion, and I think I might butcher saying it. I think a lot of people overshare and stuff, or like their fitness journey and whatever on social media to make people think that they're doing all the good work when in reality they're fucking it in the back end.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep.
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 And I think it's like it's obviously to make them feel good about doing it, about doing the work, when in reality there's a lot of things that they need to address, but they're not doing that.
Why does anybody do anything
For praise, for
to make themselves feel good?
to make themselves feel good.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like there's. I don't think there's such a thing as an unselfish act.
Mhm.
Everything we do to a certain degree has a bit of selfishness to it. So it's like, at what point does that become a problem?
Yeah.
Because, like, why do we train? Because it makes ourselves feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that selfish? Maybe. Why do we work? Because we want to earn money to buy ourselves shit. Is that selfish? Maybe. But it's good because you will support your family or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Like, at what point does the oversharing of the positive things on social media become a problem?
Become a negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does it become a negative? Because say you get Sandra right? Danny's favourite, Sandra. Whenever we talk about a made up person, you always say the name Sandra, right? So
I've never actually met. Oh, I've got an auntie, Sandra.
I've never met.
Aye, we've met her.
Aye. Yep.
Shows everybody.
Oh, big San.
Auntie Sandra.
Yeah,
Continue.
She's everybody's auntie. The fucking aye, so Sandra, she goes in at the gym, she's happy about it. She's got a slimming world plate.
What's she wearing?
And she's that's your auntie. That's your nephew.
Been here with Margaret.
That's your nephew.
Where does she drive to get there? I just want to paint a picture.
Shut up. Right, she goes to the gym, she's happy about herself, she posts about it.
Yep.
Right? Like, at what point does that become the negative thing that you're speaking on?
Yeah, because see, this is the thing as well. Like, I'm also not saying don't. Obviously, 100% do that, but there will be certain people that are doing it. Like, it's almost like, is it validation? Is that the word?
But it doesn't just that's not just in fitness. That's people who like work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm up at dick o'clock in the morning, pretty much every morning, right? But I don't post in my story a picture of the clock and a coffee and like,
yeah.
I'm up at fucking 4:45. People that do that rarely get up at that time.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's a look at me.
Yeah, think about it. So it's like the things that you don't do the most are the things that a lot of people talk about and post about the most.
Yeah.
And see, like,
And everybody's guilty of it.
everyone. See you're talking about like the positives, right? Sharing the positives. Do you think it's funny as well? Like when we share the negatives or somebody shares the negatives, it's always after a decent amount of time and the negative things happening. I fucked it last week, and it's like, do you know, we never share it
as it's happening.
It's always once it's happened, and once you're actually now in the positive.
Once
why
you've
is that?
navigated.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, again, is that for like,
because you feel in a safer place to be able to share that.
Aye.
And
less vulnerable,
less
isn't
vulnerable.
it? Because you've navigated it.
Aye, that's definitely the word.
But like, do you know what I'm going to start doing, right? I'm doing some fucking, like, if I'm just like, I'm no tracking that day, and I've been patching certain things with food or whatever it is, right? I've just been doing something. I'm just going to fuck it, right? I'll document it right now and just going, man. That's what I'm going to start doing.
That would actually probably help quite a lot of people.
Well, here's the other thing as well. So see, when people share the downs, oh guys, things have been going so poorly lately and blah blah blah. And when it is happening, they're also doing that for the exact same reasons why you would.
Well, this is what I was thinking, is that validation.
Yeah,
is that
1,000,000%.
just goes back to that.
But
again.
the thing is like, what is any of it, or why is any of it wrong? If it is wrong, why is it wrong? And do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
So even though like it doesn't matter what you share or what you put out on social media, you're putting it out there so someone can read it and react to it.
And it will be reacted to depending on the mindset of the person that's taking the information, right?
Aye.
So there might be some people who are also kind of on their shit, or they might need, maybe like, let's say we post something positive, we post something, it might inspire somebody.
Well, here's
right?
a follow-up.
But then you might post something that you've maybe it has been something you've been struggling with. Again, it will resonate with somebody that will then think, well, he's now getting back, so I'm going to start doing that. So, or somebody might look at it and go, fucking dick. He's positivity. Do you know what I mean? Not him going well.
Look at him winning again. Fucking wanker.
It's fine to post all. It'll just, some people just take it different. Some people take different things from what you're posting.
Well, here's a kind of question that I've just kind of came up off the dome, right? Freestyling, right? Off the dome. Eminem, 8 Mile. Mom spaghetti. What are some fitness things that you once didn't believe in that you now do?
Fitness things that I once didn't believe in but now do. CrossFit.
Okay, right, hit me.
No, that was actually a little bit joking, because it's still shit. And you're going to get injured. No, fitness things that I didn't believe in that I now do,
or the fitness things that you don't believe in now but you used to in the past. Maybe that might be a bit easier. But I've got one that I used to not believe in and used to be against, and now I'm for it.
On you go. You start us off.
Is meal plans.
Yes.
So at the very start of my fitness journey, I was very against meal plans because it was the rise of it was 2012, it was the rise of the flexible dining era. The
IIFYM.
The Matt August, the Ziz, Ziz, the rise of the Ziz, and Matt
Christian
Ogus,
Guzman was a bit as well,
Christian
wasn't
Guzman, Lane Norton, a lot of these guys that were like kind of in the space at that
Randy
time.
Randy Norton.
Randy Orton.
RKO. A lot of those guys, they were all advocates of the
If It
Fish and Mackerels approach. And I was like, well, if you're telling me I can have, it was a whole Pop-Tart thing. People can have Pop-Tarts and bagels and whatever else. It doesn't have to be like
Fucking
white
love
rice
bagels.
or brown rice and tilapia. Remember that? You know what a tilapia is?
I don't even know what is that,
But
fish?
that is fish. And it was like, but that was like the whole what the bodybuilder diet was. And then so it was either you eat that or it was like this IFFYM thing.
Yeah.
There was nothing really in between. The people weren't really talking about fasting or keto or carnivore or paleo or any of this shit. It was that. And that's the approach that I took to my diet. And then whenever I started getting in the fitness game, that's the kind of approach that I'd say to anyone else. Right? I got in shape doing this, so can you too. And very, very recently, it was only until one of my clients said, like, I need a meal plan. And I was like, you don't need a meal plan. But then I was like, maybe they do. So now as I began to like cultivate one and then like create one and seeing that the structure that it gave that person, again, allowing a little bit of flexibility within the meal plan, I was like, I'm going to let me try it. So then I tried it myself and I've essentially got a meal plan that I have for my breakfast, my lunch, my snacks, the thing I have before bed, and the only thing that the thing that I can have that's whatever I want is for my dinner, as long as I hit like an area of no more than 1,000 calories and 50 grams of protein. Doesn't matter what I'm having for my dinner. If it fits within that, then I can have it. I'm having a lot of calories, so it doesn't really matter too much. But even if someone's restricted, I've got the same rules as someone else. It's like your dinner could be 550 calories, has to be 45 grams of protein. Have whatever the fuck you want. But for your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. So it actually gives people structure. And like we're talking about, can't remember if it was this podcast, the last one, it takes the decision making element out of it. They don't have to make any decisions for the breakfast, for the lunch, for the snacks. How am I going to get another 40 grams of protein in? And they're reactive to the choices that they're making. And a meal plan is just allowing someone to just be like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. This is what I need to eat. These are the boxes I need to tick. And it removes that decision-making element out of it. So I'd say that meal plans were a thing that I was against. And now I think they're fucking great.
So I mean, meal plans are, again, there's different levels to the meal plan, right? So what you're explaining is how I get all my clients to approach it. And they take their calories and their protein, and I'm saying you're going to divide that up over your meals, right? And I always then recommend that they keep the same breakfast. They have a couple of lunches that they can chop and change between. They have the same snacks every day that are going to allow them to hit the protein. And then I then say, right, dinner-wise, but have 5 to 10 dinners that you're comfortable making. You know the calories, you know the protein. Keep shit simple, right? And it just, again, it takes away decisions, right? Because they just know what they're having all the time. And I actually help them build it themselves. And I do that through just kind of looking at their food. And I'm big on like not taking away from people. I'd rather add into their diet rather than just like, oh, you can't have that, you can't have this, you can't have that. But then you've got, so in a way, we are all kind of doing meal plans because I approach food kind of similar to yourself and like have the same breakfast all the time. Well, every fucking morning.
Apart from today, we're going to go to...
Apart from today, I'm
going
not
to go to
doing
Wilson Street Pantry.
Yeah, boy.
I'm getting 2 breakfasts.
Yeah, boy.
Double breakfast.
So I'm very much, I'm like that, but but then there's like a more rigid meal plan, which some people I will do with. I've not done it actually for a while, right? And it would be that I would, like, they're really fucking clueless, right? And I'm like, right, I'll give you something. And I'll go on and I've got a nice bit of software that I use and it creates a meal plan based off the calories and protein and stuff. It's great, right? But I encourage them after about 3 weeks to start navigating away from it and making their own choices again. So I feel that there's a level of meal plans and there's the hardcore level that a coach puts someone on it and makes the person feel that the only reason they're getting results is because of the food and the meal plan that they're on. So then one thing off the meal plan happens, fuck, I fucked it, right? So I actually feel that there's a fine line between a meal plan that's like what I would class as a meal plan and what you just explained.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's more like a structure or
having a good structure. But an actual solid meal plan is going down like the route of, for someone that maybe isn't as educated as us, could be dangerous. So like making them learn that this is for now, but let's start making your own choices and let them actually see that if they're not following a solid meal plan, they can still get results
Yeah.
Like
historically, I've been very against it, until recently, because it boils down to education as well. Because I could say to somebody, right, I want you to eat 1,700 calories, right, but maximize your volume, right? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
1,700 calories from my dinner last night.
It's like, what does that mean to a person? So I think loosely using it to show them, right, you can, well, for this amount of calories, you can get this much food. It's eye-opening to people, right? Yeah. Long term, obviously, you need to be flexible. You need to be able to make your own choices and stuff. That's how I kind of look at it. But to answer your question, for me, I had a wee think about that fasted cardio.
So that's something you used to believe in?
I used to believe, like, right at the beginning, I used to think, right, okay, if I want to lose weight, I needed to do fasted cardio. I needed to do 10 minutes, 20 minutes or whatever in the morning before I've eaten, and then that will help me lose weight.
Do you know what I think's funny about stuff like that? Is that right, hear me out. Don't interject. Okay. Right? Stuff like
Which
that.
Which means it's got to be something that's worth interjecting.
Stuff like that does help you lose weight. Right? A choice like that does help you lose weight, but not for the reasons in which you thought it was at the start.
Okay.
So you doing that fasted cardio first thing in the morning, not eating anything, doing the cardio, you're thinking that it's the activity of the cardio that's helping you lose the weight. Yep. But it's not. It's because you're making that decision first thing in the morning, you've made a choice to live that life of someone who is losing weight. So the rest of the day, you're going to make the decisions based off of the fact that, you know what, I got up early in the morning, I did my fasted cardio, therefore I'm going to stick to my meal plan. I'm going to do my training later on in the afternoon. I'm going to check in with my coach. Whatever the fuck other decisions that you have to make, you made. So that's why you got the result. So it's not the activity that got it, but it's the decisions off the back of the activity that helped you get there. So things like that do work. Yeah. So like when someone says to me, like my client Deck, fucking Crypto Deck, he's all for fasting, loves fasting for like, helps him with his work, his focus, he's whatever, he's this, he's that. He's like, is that going to help me get what I want? And I was like, aye. And he's like, but I thought it was all like kind of bullshit when it comes to like fat loss. And it's not the activity of the thing, but it's the choices that you make off the back of doing that activity is that helps. And that's what's powerful about it. So big up fasted cardio.
There you go. But it's like when people don't go to the gym, or they have a day where they miss the gym, or they have a week where they miss the gym or training or whatever it is. It's never just the gym or training that goes. If you look around about it, my food was shite as well. Yeah. So a lot of the time, a positive decision, like you're saying, can actually encourage more positive decisions. Goes back to that spiral again you were talking about. So starting in the morning and a positive, where it is a good decision that you've made, the rest of the day is going to go like that.
Because like I see it so much, and because obviously we're so consumed by this world, and like I always use Katie for the example of this, because she's the complete opposite. She's not about that gym life at all, but she like does it because the benefits, yada yada, right? We all know it. But when she goes to the gym or goes to Pilates, see the decisions that she makes for the rest of the day, she's more conscious about, right, what am I eating today? Does this happen? Because she just doesn't eat. See, unless I make something that's got fucking chicken in it, or I make her sandwiches or whatever, she's like, she'll have like 4 grams of protein for the day.
Yeah,
right?
That's mad, isn't it?
I'm like, what?
And
but the thing is, so when she's going to the gym and she's training, she's then thinking like, oh, maybe I need to have like a bit more chicken with my dinner. I need to have like this. So the choices that you make off the back of going to the gym,
that's it.
That's
it. And I think it's to do with like the past things you've done. Like you're almost like, why would I fuck it?
Yeah.
Look what I've just done there. What I've done, the good things. Why would I just do that? Why do I just patch it?
Exactly.
Looking back the way you get the confidence to go forward in a way.
Aye, 100%. But the fasted cardio one's a funny one, because I used to think the same as well.
You used to fast, aye.
Yeah.
I used to also think you used to have to have a protein shake straight after your workout as well.
Oh. Do you know what?
Anabolic window.
Aye.
Anabolic window.
See, Fit for Less, right? The gyms that we both worked in. There was a guy who used to come in there with a litre of milk.
Yeah.
He would drink the fucking milk while he was training.
I know the exact guy. He was doing the GoMad thing, gallon of milk a day.
What?
It was GoMad challenge. He used to drink a gallon of milk a day, and
loads of calories, loads of protein in that. Like,
and it was basically tied in with like the 20 rep squat challenge thing as well. So every other training session, you go in, you take a max set of 20 rep back squat, then you go in the next week, try and add 2.5 kilos, next week try and add 2.5 kilos, it's up to you're doing like 160 kilos for 20 reps, drinking a gallon of milk a day. That's going to get you big.
That's fucking nuts,
Some
man.
some gastrointestinal problems.
Yeah.
I know, man. Like, fucking hell.
But I was going to say something off the back of what you said there, Danny. But I think that, wait, what was it? The thing that you said, the fasted cardio thing? Oh no, the anabolic window. That's what I was going to say.
Anabolic window.
Just in case I still have like a wee protein shake straight after the
Just
gym,
in case.
because I mean, what if it is real?
The anabolic window is real. That is, I don't think we can debate that, right?
Right.
We're more anabolic for like the hour and a half after.
Yeah, but
after the our insulin sensitivity is up. The chances are capitalising on nutrients, I feel
but
like
the difference between someone having a protein shake 5 minutes after the workout or 5
to an
hours,
hour later, it's not.
it's
It's
insignificant.
insignificant. It is,
negligible.
but there is a window.
but I'm still taking. I'm not taking any
As
chances,
soon,
man.
as soon as your last rep goes down,
I'm not taking any
Protein
chances.
synthesis is higher.
Yeah. Synthesis.
Well, look at the gains you've made. It's working, bro. Keep going.
Exactly.
If it's
What
working for you, mate, keep going.
What if the reason why I can eat all the cookies and ice cream I want,
Because
and the
you're
reason why I
having
can
that
stay in
protein shake
shape is
5
because I
minutes.
have the protein shake straight
Mate,
after I work out?
Here we go.
Maybe
We're on to
that's
something. Let's unpack it now.
now called the no rep window.
the no rep window.
The no rep window. There you go.
There's I mean, I suppose we'll get to the point of wrapping up, but just to keep the viewers happy and excited, there's some quite exciting things planned.
We're doing a first naked
have I
podcast.
told you?
No.
No, have I not told you that we're doing a live podcast?
A live podcast.
Did I tell you this?
Maybe
Confirmed. It's confirmed that we're doing it.
where?
That's secret for the viewers. I'll tell you when we wrap up. But we're going to do our first ever live show.
Yes.
It's 100%
Yep.
confirmed. Did I tell you?
Yep.
No.
I know exactly.
Have I not told you?
I don't know.
I know you've told me. I know
Right.
exactly what you're talking about.
So we've got our first ever live podcast coming up towards the tail end of the year, October time, I believe. And
Are you okay, Daddy?
I've lined up some more guests. You just need to do a better job of getting guests on.
Nobody wants to speak to me,
I
man.
don't know, Andy.
No,
Right.
I'll sort us out with some.
So I've got a couple of guests lined up, which is going to be quite exciting. Some return guests. We've only had 2, so you can
get a
guess
guest.
which
We'll
one
get more.
that is. A return guest is going to come back on. We've got some more exciting guests, some exciting things planned for some live events. To the moon. No, that podcast. To the moon.
Fucking here we go. And that was episode 38.
38.
31. So
On to 100. Let's go, man.
yeah, it's going to happen by the end of the year. Make sure, well, obviously the only way for us to grow this thing is for you guys to share it. So we'd really appreciate sharing the YouTube, sharing the Instagram, tag your ma, tag your pals,
Aye.
Oh, I forgot to say share it with your mom last time.
share it with your ma.
Yeah.
Peace.
Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
Goodbye.
Peace.